Welcome to a special edition of the Referrals podcast. Introducing our new Daily Dose. We've assembled the ultimate crisis response team for your business. Generous leaders from around the globe teaming up to teach, guide, and lead you through this time of isolation and quarantine. Now let's meet your host, Michael J. Maher.
Hey everybody, this is Michael J. Maher with another episode of the Daily Dose. Welcome to another awesome episode. I cannot believe that we are in April 96th. I'm just kidding. It's almost the end of May, though it feels like April was the longest month ever. We are coming into the home stretch. We are nearing the all clear. In Chuck and Angela State, they're already all clear. It's like business as almost usual there. And I cannot wait to hear more about that. And here's my question for all of you today from today's episode is, are you the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with? You know, Jim Rohn once said you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that for a second. Maybe you need to add some friends. Maybe you need to subtract some friends. Maybe you need to choose who you hang out with more. And more importantly, here's the other thing. What if I told you that there's like corollaries to that thought? What if I told you that your salary, your income is probably the average of the 5 people you hang out with? What if I told you that your intelligence is probably the average of the 5 people you hang out with? What if I told you your happiness is directly related to the 5 people you hang out most with? Are you looking to maybe change people? Are you looking to add people? Are you maybe really happy with where you're at? Whatever it may be, you're going to learn a lot more about that. And maybe these are wrong. Who knows? We will find out in today's episode. Now, some quick announcements. First of all, listen, Sweet Dreams starts June 14th. Sweet Dreams is our 30-day challenge class. You're not just getting one ritual. In 30 mornings, you did one morning ritual, 30 days. Guess what? You are getting 2 rituals in Sweet Dreams. You are getting the Sunday night ritual, AKA the SWEET acronym. You are also getting the nightly ritual. So Sunday through Thursday night, you will go through a ritual with 2 of our best coaches. Tara Carter and Paul Dominich are going to take you through 30 days, Sunday through Thursday for 4 weeks, and you are going to master the Sunday evening ritual, SWEET, and the nightly ritual, Dreams, and you are going to have the best sleep in your life, and you are going to have the most productive days you will ever have in those 30 days. You can sign up at 30evenings.com. Yes, we have 30mornings.com as well. That's cranking, sold out 4 straight times. 30 evenings, brand new class, starts June 14th. Go to 30evenings.com. Now, I noticed earlier that we are nearing 5,000 people in this group. Now, this is a very selective group. We have some very high filters on who gets in, and we're nearing 5,000. Here's the deal. I am going to give away a $200 pen, like literally the ultimate in writing utensil. It's from a group called Backyard Barnworks, and they are a small handcrafted gift shop, and they strive to make one-of-a-kind items that will stand the test of time and be heirlooms to their customers, literally handed down generation to generation. And their hand-turned pens are made from a variety of materials, including diamonds, wood, corian, acrylic, and many other things. These are the creme de la creme when it comes to pens. You can visit their website at backyardbarnworks.com or facebook.com/Backyard Barnworks. But the person who invites the 5,000th person, you refer the 5,000th person, you get the pen. I will ship it to you direct, and you can use this pen, pass it on to your son or daughter, who will pass it on to their son and daughter. It's a beautiful pen. I wish I had it in front of me so I could show you. It would sparkle in the light because it does have diamond dust in this pen. So number 5,000, whoever refers number 5,000, invites number 5,000, gets the pen shipped directly to you. Thank you to Backyard Barnworks for making the finest pins on earth. Now, tomorrow we have Steve Sims. Basically, any billionaire, any celebrity who wants anything, they call Steve and say, I need a private island for a party. Steve Sims makes it happen. This guy is the make it happen guy. He is tomorrow. You will not want to miss that. Now, this is my reminder to all of you that have created and lead Facebook groups as we instructed on the very first day. Now is the time to start your watch party. And I will tell you that this is going to be good for anyone 11 to 111. And I wish I would have learned at 11. But Chuck and Angela don't cuss. I don't cuss. Now is the time to start your watch party. Go to share below. Go up. It says start watch party. Take out the generosity generation thing and put in your group. Hit start, and you will be starting a watch party in your group. And the time to do that is now. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you the power couple, Chuck and Angela Fazio. Listen to this. Overseen over 40,000 homes sold and over $9 billion in production. Owned one of the largest brokerages in the country, a Risk Media Billionaire Club, Real Trends Top 500 Power Brokers, Swanepoel's Mega 1000 Most Influential, Dave Ramsey's Momentum Award, international speakers and authors. Ladies and gentlemen, how about we give a huge Generosity Generation welcome and a huge welcome to the daily dose of positivity and productivity to Chuck and Angela Fazio. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you very much, man. Honor to be here.
I have to tell you, knowing this episode was coming, I was fired up. The very first, so I did here's what we're going to do, which was Crisis Response 101. So I did an introductory presentation. And then the very first Monday of this, I did the 7 things that matter most, right? So I went through mindset matters. I went through minutes matter, time management, message matters, like what's your message to the world. I said momentum matters. I said the map matters. What's your plan, right? And then I talked about mastery matters. But one of them I really went into depth, and I was just like, this is so important. And I'm not sure everybody got the lesson, was mentors matter. Mentors matter. Out of the 7 things that matter most in our life, the people we associate with are so key to our success. So I have to throw that to you. So why is who you associate with critical to your success?
Yeah, Michael, I even think we want to go one better that me and Angela have realized going through life together. It's not even, does it matter your success? Who you surround yourself actually defines you, defines you as a person. So it's from business, it's to health, it's to relationships. The people you associate with defines who you are going through this world. And I, listening to you at the very beginning, I think a lot of people really don't grasp that to its core.
No, they totally underestimate the power of the way this even shapes your mind and the way you think.
Yeah, so.
It impacts everything, right?
Everything.
I mean, it literally, like I said, your income, your happiness, your intellect. Can you raise your IQ? The answer is yes, you can. Can you raise your EQ? 100%. Thank God you can raise your EQ. But the thing is it's one of those where it's not just critical to your success, it's critical to your identity, which therein leads to your success. Are there some examples, or, is there some kind of scenario where you've seen that come into play with either? I mean, you have a great vantage point. You have your guys' vantage point, the Chuck and Angela vantage, but you also have this vantage point of overseeing all these agents, right? How many agents do you have now?
We have 900.
Yeah. So you have 900, and you've been around the real estate game a long time. Mm-hmm. And I will tell you, I mean, luckily I know you guys, right? So I have to tell you that I'm gonna put a plug in here for you guys. I've spoken for you a couple of times over the years, and your office is probably the most gorgeous office I have ever spoken at. Think about
Yes,
that.
it is.
I speak 52 times a year, almost every week. And there's a lot of offices and a lot of venues that I've been at. But the way it is designed and the way you laid it out to make it more of a destination, then it's got a bar in it. It's got a restaurant. It's got a cafe. It's got one of the best speaking venues I've ever seen. You set it up to be this all-encompassing destination, I mean, can you even talk to that a little bit? And maybe does it play with who you associate with? And talk about the design and build of your office. I know that's a weird it's definitely not one we covered, but I am genuinely curious.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, Michael. I don't know if you remember the last time you were in there, you had made a comment that really summed up why we built the building. Mm-hmm. And you actually said that was the Taj Mahal of what you teach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what you teach is what we live by.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You just nail it. And that's the reason why you are at the success level you're at, that you do what you do, and that I think we connect with you so well. You talk about like-minded people.
Right.
So to answer your question, so about maybe about 5 years ago, we were going through building our company, and we're just workhorses, and we've always believed in relationships. And we didn't really realize to the extent of what that meant. But about 5 years ago, I say, God gave me a vision of building one of the most incredible physical spaces. And the purpose was to attract like-minded people to connect with one another. Mm. And so we had to look at it from multiple angles of what would attract people to be around each other. So we kind of added a little of everything in there. So bar cafe.
Yay.
So we have a class 6 liquor license. Yep. I don't even have to sell food. I could be a nightclub.
No doubt. You have bands, live music,
live
bands.
Music, yes.
So we have a 7,000 square foot resort-like patio with live music for agents to bring that, to come, connect, and bring clients.
Right.
It's designed that way. An event center that is designed for training, and it's also designed for events.
Right.
Like we'll do the UFC fights in there, murder mystery dinners, dueling pianos.
Really unique networking opportunities.
Yeah, speed networking.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. And I think since you've been there, well, let me go through a couple of things. We have a full game room. We have 9 conference rooms, 6 phone booths, and places for people to work, connect. And then since you've been there, we've added a podcast room, a green screen room, a chair masseuse, an esthetician, and a full gym.
Why not?
Watch this. Just drop the mic, people. Here's the thing. It was already the best. And we just decided, we're just going to up the game. Yeah, and I will tell you, that's what you've done with your office is you've made it, there is no excuse not to do one-on-ones with clients, with vendors, with partners, strategic partners, networking, because you have created the ultimate home court advantage for your agents. And
we've also upped our game. Yeah. We even upped our game and included the small business community in our area to come in and take advantage.
Yeah, so basically what the forum is a building, we don't get complacent. And we're always, we're big believers in the Lord, and what God does in our life is nothing short of miraculous. So we're always questioning, Lord, what can we do bigger and better to be a blessing to people? Mm. So we did have some big moves that we did to be bigger and better. I know a lot of people are going to be amazed. We actually closed down Revelation Real Estate. Mm-hmm. So we closed down our brokerage, made the building full co-work, so it's open to every real estate agent, everyone that gets to be blessed by the building. And now we're building all over the country, and we're already working with about 2,500 agents that are in our group already. So we wanted everybody to experience that building.
Yep.
That's so, wow. That's unbelievable. So tell me more about that. Like that's so has it gone from a money making profit center to a nonprofit, or like, tell me more, like, is it a real estate office?
So no, yeah, I didn't want to make this about the real estate part, but we've been praying over a lot of stuff because we've been blessed in our career to be a blessing to others, just like you are. Your reach of agents is so expansive. Mm-hmm. And we building Revelation Real Estate over the last 15 years, we were a blessing to our agents and built it to one of the top single office independent brokerages in the entire world. Mm-hmm. And but we felt like we were getting, over the last couple of years, we felt like we were losing something. We were getting complacent. And me and Angela do not like that area of complacency and comfortable. Mm-hmm. And God's blessed us to be a blessing, servant leaders. So we said, how do we do things bigger and better? Like, I watch people like you're such a blessing to people, and people were reaching out to us all over the country saying, hey, either could you build an office in our state? And we're like, hell no. Building a company is really friggin' hard.
Yeah.
And or do you coach and mentor? And we really didn't. We didn't have the tools or the time. So we pretty much, what we did was literally close down a $15 million company overnight to rebuild under the EXP umbrella, which enables us now to be a blessing to people all over the country. And we're going to prove to people out there that we know how to build businesses.
And it exacerbates the collaboration potential, because now you can find people, like-minded people all over the place, and that's where you grow exponentially.
Yeah. Which, thank you for Angela to bring us back on point, right? I mean, it's like, and but I have to tell you, I was genuinely curious about that, and I think it shares your mindset, it shares how you're thinking, and that's a big part of what we cover in the Daily Dose. This is the daily dose of positivity and productivity. Well, positivity and productivity is about thinking bigger, and sometimes when we think bigger, we have to blow up the current to go to the next. And that sounds like really a lot of what you did there. And it goes back to, we have so many people within our community who think that generosity, we help people build their businesses based on love, generosity, and appreciation. And they think what that is being a people pleaser. But actually being a people pleaser can be destructive. It can be counteract our success. So why is being a people pleaser so destructive, or why can it be so destructive, and how do we avoid that?
We are so passionate about that subject, because being a people pleaser actually freezes you and paralyzes you and is no service to anybody.
Yeah, not only that, I always say too is it's your why, not their why. And you're letting people get into your mind and sidetrack you. And we did get a lot of that. Quite honestly, Michael, one of the biggest things that we had to wrestle with in our mind to make the move was how many people are going to lash out against us. And it was starting to paralyze us. And I'm like, why would I let someone who's never walked a day in my shoe, and for the most part, agents who are lucky if they sell 2 to 3 homes a year, tell people who run a multi-billion-dollar production company, tell them or dictate what to do. It's almost
it was a little
crazy,
mind-blowing. But you know what? God put us in our place quickly and said, I've set you on a path to bless people, and you can't do it if this is the way you continue to think. Again, the people that we surround ourselves were able to kick us in the butt and say, you are on the right path. God told you to do that. You need to keep going.
You know, it's one thing taking advice. Taking advice is different from letting somebody debilitate you with their pushing their thoughts and their mindset and their agenda on you.
How is that different, right? So how are those two things different?
Well, advice comes from a place of love, is the way I look at it all the time, which then, Michael, really goes back to who do you surround yourself with? You know, my inner circle, our inner circle is very small. So the advice has to come from, number one, the people you know, like, and trust, not just from every person. And I'm not saying I don't listen to people, but I don't take what they say as them beating it in. The other thing is, sometimes you could very easily tell is because some people will dictate to you what you should do instead of saying, hey guys, this is coming from a place of love, pretty much, take into all these considerations.
Well, plus you have to determine the source. I mean, if we have a big why and we have a big goal, are those people capable of speaking into it? Which goes back to, who are you surrounding yourself with? Are you surrounding yourself with people who can speak into your dreams, right? And have positive impact.
Yeah.
Because some people can really love and care about you, but they just can't speak into your big dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're very socially selective, as I am, as I know the most successful people tend to be that way. You know, what gets through the filter? Like, how do we, I mean, so if we don't necessarily want to be a people pleaser, but we have to do good customer service. So we'll talk about that in a second. But the other side of it is that, you know what? I mean, it's like, we got to be a blessing. We want to be a blessing. And yet we also need to be socially selective, right? So how do people make it through the filter for you guys? Like, what kind of people are you closest to or best like to partner with? Like, what we all create filters and barriers in our life. Like, who gets through and maybe what are the factors to the people who don't get through?
So I think to start it off, the filter goes through, number one is me and her, we're one. And that's my best friend, that's my business partner. And we're always talking. We're always talking about situations, what you do. And by experience, you start to realize what you're looking for. And because we're always talking about our dreams, our aspiration. So filter number one is, if somebody doesn't align up with our why and our visions, that doesn't make them a bad person. It's just somebody that isn't somebody in our life. So I'm going to take a sidestep because everybody thinks business-wise right away. Let's first talk about relationship-wise right away. That is my best friend. So the people in our life on a personal level, number one is they can't be couples where the husband behind the wife's back will talk negative about the wife or bitch about her or vice versa. Guess what? Sorry, we can't be around you.
Yeah, I love that.
And I know there's people in this world that think that's no big deal. You don't realize how toxic that is.
Right? I honor my husband. He honors me. And nobody's in our circle who doesn't find that very valuable.
And doesn't have that in their life. Big deal.
We have single people who value that. You don't have to be married, but like April. Yeah.
Well, it goes back to the kind of the first filter is, you know, there are people who talk about other people, right? The simple person, the you know, and then you've got the average minded who kind of talk about things. And then you've got the high minded who talk about ideas, you know, and typically big ideas. And so the first filter is kind of like, you want to associate with the high minded. They don't need an anti-gossip rule because they're just not going to gossip. They don't need an anti-political gaming rule because they're not going to play the political gaming rule, you know, a political game. Right. They're going to talk about ideas. They're going to talk about how can we bless the world. You know, they're going to talk about how they truly take their divine spark and make a dent in the universe, right? They're not talking about other people. You know, I mean, that would be a waste of their time and their talents. So, you know, the first filter is, you know, what are you talking about? And I think everybody needs to take a checkup from the neck up that is watching this and listening to this. And I'm telling right now, everybody I want you to all to put your PS in the comments below as to what have you been pleasantly surprised about during the quarantine, or pleasantly surprised about, or what do you appreciate the most during the quarantine times? And I want you to put that in the comments below. And some of you might need a checkup from the neck up and realize that it's like there's a lot of negative Nellies. There's a lot of Debbie Downers. And the bottom line is that we have to be the portrayer of positive, and there's always a positive slant on everything. So I love that. So the first is, listen, they've got to be high-minded individuals who want to talk about ideas. They want to talk about changing the world. They want to be part of the vision, your vision on changing the world.
Are you enjoying the Daily Dose? Want to connect with thousands of other business owners that are winning the referral game while working from home right now? Head over to the Generosity Generation Facebook group. Connect with leaders, visionaries, and business owners from all over the world. Go to www.joingengen.com. That's www.joingengen.com.
So what else? What else kind of gets through the filter for you guys? Who do you like to hang out with? You know?
Him.
Yeah, each other, right? We're all homebodies. It's so funny.
I will tell you that we get very energized when we're around another person who's pulling in the same direction. Maybe a totally different big idea, or maybe another spin on it, or another talent, or whatever. But they're so excited about pushing forward and solving problems and growing bigger and thinking bigger. That fully energizes us.
Yeah, we were very polarizing when we made this move.
Yeah.
And it was really good because we literally separate, what is that, the chaff from the wheat?
From the chaff.
It was amazing how the people that stayed with us, you just nailed it, all these bigger thinkers, positive people, and these were the ones that focused on, oh, what is that going to cost us? I'm like, you're not in business to save money. You're in business to make money.
Or people who just
yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
The other thing is we cannot be around negativity.
No.
Victim mentality, entitlement mentality. The more you live outside of that, the more you could actually feel that energy.
Yeah.
I believe that with I believe the spiritual warfare going on all the time. I can't be in a room of negativity. Not saying they're bad people. This is not about good or bad people, but I physically can't. I can feel it.
Staying away from negative people literally frees your mind and frees you up to do all the other stuff that is worthwhile.
That's right. And that's my number one filter is energy. Like my number, if I feel a good energy, then I'm probably going to hang out. I'm probably going to have them on the Daily Dose. I'm probably going to figure out ways to do things together. You know, if I don't feel the energy, if it's an energy suck, then guess what? It's probably going to be a short term. I can still be a blessing to those. And a lot of times, sometimes the blessing is just coming in with my energy, you know, and letting them feed the energy or feed off the energy. But you can't always be that person that is delivering the energy. You've got to find people who fill you up as well, you know, and luckily, you know, you're married to each other, and I'm married to someone who does that. And I have an 11-year-old son who vibrates at a high frequency as well. I mean, the kid's amazing. You know, I mean, thank God, right? I'm glad I don't dislike him. You know what I mean? I like this kid. He's pretty cool. But it's one of those where, you know, energy is so important. And we're really talking today about mentors matter, and really about, you know, who you associate with is critical to your success. And everybody's a mentor. We can learn from everyone. The thing, and you talk about, you know, we're in business to make money. And the thing is we're in business to make money, which means we're going to need to interact with people because people have all the money. And honestly, if you really look at it, we're in business to meet people. And that's why I loved your office so much, is because your entire office was geared for people to gather, for people to meet. And I will tell you that if I had just remained a teacher and a coach in a town in Kansas and that kind of thing, life would have been grand. It would have been fine. But I am so glad I got into real estate because it forced me to meet people. Well, and then you got that corollary is it forced me to meet people. Well, it forced me to meet great people. I mean, great people. Some of the greatest people in my life to this day is that I was in business and it forced me to meet great people. And that's the thing is we're in business to meet great people. And guess what? You know what? The greater the people that you interconnect with, the greater your life is. And that's it, right? That is like, you want your life to be better. You are one person from like the greatest life in the world. And usually that's you, just so everybody knows. It's usually falling in love with yourself that makes your life the greatest life ever. But you've got this person that's going to be the greatest referral source of your life, going to be the greatest motivation of your life, going to be the greatest energy of your life. It may not be a spouse. It may just be someone that you meet today or tomorrow or next week. But the thing is keep meeting people and keep meeting great people. And that's the beauty of all that we do, you know?
You asked your audience, what did you learn in quarantine? My husband and I had a lot of conversation because first of all, you never stop learning. If you stop learning, you stop growing. And we've learned so much during quarantine about the people we surround ourselves with, about this very topic. And we had a lot of discussion about how we need to continue to peel that onion back and get deeper into this concept because it is so central to a happy life, to a productive life.
That's right.
Yeah, you know, Michael, there's actually science behind this. We were created this way. So to dig deeper, when people go, well, why is that? Because that's the way I am. I'm always asking why. Why is it being around these type of people make it different in your life and these type of don't? Because like you said, big thinkers, big-minded people, motivators. So here's the two science behind it. It's a physical thing that God created. One is the hormone dopamine. Now, dopamine is known as the feel-good hormone. And it's like a natural drug to the body that we want to do things that make us feel good. Now, they've done research and realized that dopamine is directly correlated with motivation. So when you go and listen to motivational speakers, so like yourself, everybody could say, if you go to a Tony Robbins or a Michael Maher or a Grant Cardone or whoever you go to, why does everybody walk out of there feeling pumped and energized? Well, there's a physiology behind that, and it's called dopamine. It's like you're drugged up naturally.
Are you telling me that I'm a drug dealer? Are you saying I'm a drug dealer? Are you saying I'm a drug dealer?
You are. You're a natural drug dealer.
I guess I'll take
charge
that.
More.
Oh, man. Amen. You know, this is so good. This is so good. You know, I will tell you, you got to choose which business you're in as well. You know, not necessarily drug dealing, but it is one of those where, you know, I say this from stage and I say this in my writings and I've said it here on the Daily Dose and I've had some people kind of like, they didn't like it very much that I said it. And it's like, listen, are you partnering with the strong or are you preying on the weak? You know, is your business model to prey on the weak? You're going to call 100 people until you find the weaker one. You're going to overcome their objections and corner them until they say yes, because they've been badgered or, you know, they've been dominated, so to speak, right? Or are you going to build your business partnering with the strong and meeting strong people and partnering with people who, when they refer you, the person that's referred literally works with you with no questions asked. Why? Because they were referred by a strong person. If your business model's based on preying on the weak, first of all, we have a voice now in social media. So the 99 people you made mad on the way to the one sale now are going to go to Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and talk about how much of a jerk you are. And the other part of it too is, let's say that weak person works with you and you just like, you basically have badgered them into everything, the sale, the purchase, the everything, and they did it and you feel good because you got a check. But the thing is if that weak person refers you, they're not, because weak people don't refer. But if the weak person does refer you, the person won't work with you because the weak person referred you. So it's one of those where it's like, then what do you got to do? You got to do more preying on the weak. You got to do more hunting. You got to do more, killing. You got to do more crushing. You got to do. Instead, what if we partnered with the strong? What if we worked with people who are affluent and successful and connectors and, influential and that kind of thing? And this all goes to exactly what you're talking about today, or is mentors matter. And, what's funny though, is we think that being a people pleaser is part of that. And it's really not. It's really about, be about who you are, be your authentic true self, and think bigger and do bigger things. And I love to be a blessing. I love just wake up, go out the door and be a blessing. And I want you to go back and I want you to go back into the marriage element of this, right? Because I think that's so powerful. I joked earlier on a daily dose. I said, yep, we're going to see a lot of babies born in 8 and 9 months, just as the divorce is final. You know what I mean? People have spent a lot of time together in the last couple of months. So I joke about that a little bit, but I hope it doesn't happen. But here's the thing is, your marriage is a key part of your success. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and talk about that a little bit.
So I tell everybody this when we teach about business. I don't talk about business first. I talk about your relationship with your spouse or significant other. And I tell everyone, besides the grace of God, why we're so successful. The reason why we are so dominant and successful in everything we do is because this is rock solid. Mm-hmm. And I tell people, if you don't have your home life together, don't expect to have your business together. You cannot operate at this high level if you're fighting with your spouse, worried what they're doing, not speaking to them, going to bed at separate times. We've been together since 2001 and never spent one night apart. And we go to bed the same time every night and pray over each other every night. We run our businesses together. And so to us, this quarantine,
it's awesome.
That was well, it's not that it's awesome.
It was business as usual. It was business. It was actually life as usual for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Although I will tell you that we had even more time to have really deep conversations. We do all the time anyway, but we had even more time to do that. And we were able to recognize some things that we need to grow out of, like things we didn't know we were stuck in and things that we need to do different. And that was a huge blessing.
So it is critical. I'm telling anybody out there right now, if you're struggling, the first thing you should look at if you're married, how's your marriage? Is that truly your best friend? Yeah. Or is it an acquaintance? And
Say that again.
If either they're truly your best friend or they're just an acquaintance.
Say the thing before that. So if there's a struggle,
if you're struggling right now in your business, the first thing you need to look at is your marriage. If you're married.
And
so what's the key?
What's that?
So what's the key, right? What's the key? And here's the other thing, right? Is your marriage perfect?
Well,
it's not perfect, right?
Not perfect. Pretty close.
It's pretty close to perfect.
What's the definition of perfect? Because if you say, do you ever argue? Well, that's not being imperfect. That's growing.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So is my marriage perfect? Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, we always say this, you have this person and this person, and we're the only two people who matter, and they're only two people who get to make the choice of whether this is going well or it's not going well.
Yeah. You don't need outside people telling you.
Yeah.
You know, we live in a world that when something doesn't go someone's way, they're gone.
They're out.
Nobody wants to work on anything. And it's not work. Get to know the person you're with, because it's probably amazing how many couples out there don't even know their spouse.
That's right.
There is nothing that we don't know about each other.
Right. We're free to be ourselves and never have to hide anything.
You guys remember the Newlywed Squares?
Yes.
You guys would own that game. You guys would just own that game. It'd be so good. You brought up a great point. Is we live in this cancel versus commit society, right? And you have a problem, cancel. You have a problem with your marriage. One argument, cancel your marriage, right? Annulment. You can even do annulment, right? So it's like you have a problem with your gym membership, cancel. Don't go. You have a problem with your coach, right? Cancel, right? And it's like,
don't blame yourself.
Yeah, right. Why would we want to do that, right? And it's like the opposite of cancel is commit. And I will tell you, one of the things that I've found the most successful people in the world do really well is they commit. They have this no matter what attitude that they are going to finish the job. Now, sometimes I have seen, and I've seen this with myself, is sometimes they overcommit. But the bottom line is I would rather people overcommit than undercommit or cancel. And I learned that lesson from a mentor of mine. My three mentors have been Patrick J. Maher, my father, Howard Brenton, and Zig Ziglar. Howard Brenton, I signed up for his coaching about my fourth year. I signed up for his coaching with him. And it was like we were, I don't know, probably 2.5 months in. And I was busy, right? I was basically doing over 200 transactions with me and a couple of other people. And the year before I did 187 with me full-time and Sherry helping me part-time. So busy, right? Very, very busy. And so I was like, Howard, I gotta cancel this. This is not working for me. I mean, and it's like, it's not working for me, right? And it's like, I can't show up. And it's like, he goes, no, can't cancel. And I'm like, what? No, I can't, right? I mean, there's somewhere it says something I can cancel, right? And it's like, no. He goes, you can either not show up for the calls and you have to make that decision, or you can commit 110% and let's conquer the world, right? And I was like, whatever, and then I committed. And you know what? It was the best thing ever. I built my team. I got my time back. I got my life back. I really, really got involved with lives of people who I would not have gotten involved before. Our events grew bigger than I ever dreamed possible because I had more time to think than just work. And it was the best thing I've ever done. And, it's like you can't cancel. You're committed no matter what. Make it happen. You can miss a day. You can miss one. Like you can miss one. Just know you can miss one, but you can't miss two. So anyway, I thank you for bringing that back to memory. That's a very fond memory of one of my mentors. Rest in peace, Howard Brenton. So
yeah, that's a good mentor.
Yeah, he was amazing, and he built everything he had on caring and sharing and making an impact on lives of millions of realtors. So you're doing the same thing. And that's what I love about you guys is it's one of those where today, anything else on like Mentors Matter or who we should associate ourselves with. And if anybody has any questions below, do me a favor and chime in the comments below, and Sherry will get me that question if we have time. So, yeah.
Yeah. I want to sidetrack a second. I want to start a conspiracy theory about you. We're talking about the drugs. I noticed you have a pill up there. So maybe that's a subliminal message.
Yes, it
that
is.
You're pushing dopamine as your natural drug to your
and the daily dose starts with the letter D. right? So it's actually, you don't know this, but this is actually, the daily dose is short for the daily dose of dopamine. I didn't know if you knew that or not. I'm just kidding. But it's
I was like, really?
You had me going. I was like,
Wow.
I didn't know that.
no,
We
but,
are like-minded.
yeah, but I will tell you that we did a pill intentionally. We did the daily dose with the plus sign intentionally, because it's positivity and productivity, which is plussing yourself, and plus means positive. But we also did the magic pill when the quarantine started. So we did the daily dose right out of the chute with right as soon as, and because you know what I hope is we're able to take a pill or a shot and COVID-19 goes away. That's what I really hope. So we have a question for you. You guys open for a question?
Sure.
How can you gracefully, you know where this is going, get a person out of your life who is bringing you down with negativity?
Well, here's what I would do. I would have a conversation and actually bring it up to them. You don't just throw someone out.
Yep.
Sometimes, you know, I always look at it as taking the opportunity to actually help someone because maybe they don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Right.
What we do with each other, just so you know, don't do, whoever has this, don't do
We
this with this
agree.
person. We go like that in each other's face if you're being a victim. And it doesn't go over well all the time, but we gave each other permission to do that.
Yes.
So I would first have, and not even maybe one conversation, but multiple conversations, just to give them a chance, because maybe nobody's ever told it to them.
That's
and
right.
Don't forget, we were not born in this mindset. We developed this mindset intentionally over time. So people can change. And so maybe that person can change, but if they can't, you have to excuse them. You have to dismiss them from your life.
You know, that's interesting is it's also like some people don't know like how they look when they're thinking. And sometimes some people, when they're sitting there, they look like they're angry or they look like they're negative, but they're actually not. They don't even have a negative thought in their mind at all, but it just, they're just sitting there with that thought or with the face that they have on, and they don't even know it. Right. And it's like, I don't know if you knew this, and this would be a very private conversation, but it's like you're frowning when you are like sitting there, you know, is it something I'm doing something? And they're like, oh no, I didn't even know I was, or they might say, yeah, this is like the worst presentation I've ever seen ever. So, you know, they may say either way.
You know, we're speakers also, so I'm sure when you're doing your speaking, you're looking at the audience, and in your mind you're going, "Oh my gosh, that person's not happy.
Yeah,
that
this
one's
one,
not happy."
this one.
Yeah. you know, the one thing with my inner circle, the people that know me, I mean, I'm a loud New Yorker, and it always seems like I'm yelling, and we always joke around because she'll be, "Why are you yelling?" I'm like, "I'm just passionate." I'm
hard of hearing, so I yell all the time as well. So it's all good. They're like, man, it's like you're yelling. In fact, Sherry and Max will sometimes tell me that, like, hey, you're kind of talking loud. You know, it's like, you know, I don't mean to talk loud. I'm just talking loud so I can actually hear myself. I don't think you guys are listening to me anyway, so what does it matter? Right? So, but it's all good. I mean, look at this, man. Page and a half of notes already. And all right, so how do you politely turn down someone's request for a meeting when they ask for you in person, right? Or they ask you in person, right?
This is how I do it.
Yeah.
You have to listen really carefully. Do you have your pencil?
Yes.
Ready? No.
Yeah.
No's a full sentence.
Yeah. No, thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean, it really is. No, thank you for asking. And the other thing too is, you know what, the other have enough respect for the other person that you just tell them, no, thank you for asking. You know, no, thank you for asking. No, thank you for asking. No, thank you for asking. And it, you know, would you like to be on the parent teacher associations at your school? Yeah. It's like, no, thank you for asking. You know, no, thank you. I really am appreciative that you would want me on, but no, thank you for asking. And it's one of those where you hit it on the head. I'm so glad you went to the direct approach instead of hemming and hawing, because I will tell you, it's just like I was hanging out with 3 guys after our baseball games on Sunday. We finally got a chance to go out, and we were sitting on the back, by the back end of their truck and just chatting. And they were like, we could really use a coach on this team that we're doing. And, you're a great coach. So they embedded it into a compliment and this, that, and the other. And I was just like, no, thank you for asking. I appreciate it. I just can't do it right now,
Well,
So
somebody said something to me that I'll never forget. You have to say no to good things to say yes to great things. And that really sticks with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the other thing too is we normally don't say no to someone that we don't know, but we know the reason why they're asking. Usually the no are the people we know just suck the life out of us.
Yeah.
Number one, or it's a sales thing that we're just not interested in. But if an agent in the country just wants to, they have a question, what we do probably first is go, email us a summary or a quick, what do you want to chat about before we, if we don't know you. And 9 out of 10 times we will talk to someone for a good, 5-10 minutes, at least give them that much. Yeah.
I love that. And so, we have CRT, certified referral trainers. We have like 88, I believe was the last, it's either 88 or 82. Sherry will correct me, trust me. And so it's one of those where they weren't all on the Daily Dose. And so it's one of those where we put it out. Do you want to be on the Daily Dose? And those that said yes, we got on, right? And yet there's 3 or 4, you know who you are, who are like, why aren't we on the Daily Dose? And so it's like, well, because you didn't say you wanted to, right? And what they were, and I'll tell you who you are, right? You know who you are, is their ego wanted Michael Maher to say, hey, I want you to be on the Daily Dose. And I didn't do that because you know what? We're full. It's going to fill up. We said, hey, listen, if you want to be on, raise your hand. You know what Tommy Sandvik did? He posted in like 5 minutes, I want to be on. You know what Tara Carter did? 5 minutes. She said she wanted to be on, right? Pauly Dominich. I mean, it's like these amazing CRTs who are changing. Now, here's the other thing. There are people that are CRTs that weren't on and didn't want to be on because you know what? They're super busy and they're focusing on other things, and that's okay too. But it's just one of those where it's like, it is one of those where it's like, no, thank you for asking. No.
Yeah, we're super busy too, but I wanted to be on.
Yeah.
So when I seen you doing this, I reached out to your girl, and I reached out to you, and you put me with your girl. So.
One of the easiest yeses I ever had. Right. One of the easiest, like Angela said, right? You say no to the good to say yes to the great. And I'm just saying, so we've said no a lot. We've had probably 90 people who have wanted to be on the Daily Dose who we just either couldn't do it because of time. Like we have, a Shark Tank guy who, it's just not going to work because of can't make the times work. So it is what it is. Right. But I will tell you, I from all of the Generosity Generation and from myself, I want to say that we really appreciate that you came on today, and want to just say, thank you for being a guest on the Daily Dose.
Such a pleasure.
I love what you're doing, and Yvette Maher is probably your biggest fan.
Who's that?
Yvette Maher.
Yvette Maher is your biggest fan.
I'll tell you what, if you want somebody to be your fan, you know what? I'm going to tell you something about Yvette. All right. So Yvette's going to listen to this anyway, but I'm telling you something about Yvette. Here's the thing is Yvette is super direct. Like when you say no, thank you, like we have this thing DISC, right? DISC, which is, dominant, influencer, steady, and then compliant, right? And Yvette is straight to the point with a straight to the point kicker. Like she's direct. But I love that. And you know what? We get along great because I'm direct with Yvette. It's like she set up 9 office visits for me. She wanted to set up the 10th. And I go, no, right? Now she kind of like always gets her way because she's very strong. And it's like, no, but I said, no, we have 9 spots. We got 9, period. But you know what? She respects the heck out of that. I respect the heck out of her. I love Yvette, and I love that Yvette loves me.
She's so loyal.
And she's a champion. Like we talked about that on an earlier Daily Dose is I love Darla Evanoff in Oklahoma City. You know why? Because she's everybody's biggest fan forever. Like everybody she ever meets, she's their biggest fan. Like oh, this is Michael Maher. He's my biggest fan. It's like, oh, this is Tara Carter. I'm her biggest fan. So guess what? Everybody loves Darla. You know, Yvette's the same way. Now she's a little more selective with who she champions, but by her championing others, it makes it so easy to champion her. And she's really good at what she does, which really helps. So I'm glad you brought that up.
I've known Yvette longer than I know her. I met Yvette when I first moved out here, but she is awesome. So
yeah,
we appreciate
and we're going to see you in October, by the way. October is Referral Mastery Summit at the Scottsdale Hilton Resort and Villas, and it is live. It is happening. We have got a couple of consultants on the quarantine COVID-19 thing, and we're going to be able to run that without any problems. So I'm excited about October 8th through 10th. We're Referral Mastery Summit in Scottsdale, Arizona, right down the road from you. And I know I'll probably see you before that. But anyway, I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming on today, both of you.
Thank you, Michael. Good seeing you, buddy.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our edition of the Daily Dose of Positivity and Productivity, or the Daily Dose of Dopamine, if you've been listening today. And remember, the 5,000th person, whoever invites that person, is going to get an amazing diamond-encrusted pin that you will be able to write your handwritten notes, like with a smile on your face, and then your kids will be able to write handwritten notes, and then your kids' kids will be able to write their handwritten notes, and so on and so forth. And that was brought to you by Backyard Barnworks and Chris and Lisa, and I appreciate both of them, and I appreciate that company. And remember, tomorrow we have Steve Sims, the concierge to the stars. He will blow you away with some of his stories. We will see you tomorrow on the Daily Dose. Thanks, everybody.